안녕하세요 여러분, 디플로맷 토크 대사관 전문 PD 나누리입니다. 제가 오늘 다리가 되어 한국과 연결해 볼 국가는요 바로 이곳입니다. 따라오세요. 따라오십시오. 바로 여기! 국기 보여주세요. 국기. It is hard to see the flag because there isn't any wind. 톡톡님, 저희가 이번에 튀니지 대사님을 인터뷰하게 됐잖아요.
Right.
그래서 튀니지랑 한-튀니지 관계에 대해 리서치를 좀 해봐야 될 것 같아요. 톡톡님이 좀 도와주셔야겠어요.
Oh, I'm an expert when it comes to Tunisia.
또 언제 튀니지 전문가가 되셨대요?
That's a given for a diplomacy show mascot, isn't it?
먼저 한국과 튀니지 관계 사이에 알아야 할 중요한 것들에 뭐가 있을까요?
What should I tell you first? Oh, this is a very important year in bilateral relations.
오, 왜요?
This year marks the 55th anniversary since Korea and Tunisia established diplomatic relations. Korea and Tunisia established consular-level diplomatic relations in 1968 and ambassador-level diplomatic relations in 1969.
오, 매우 중요한 사실이네요. 또 뭐가 있어요?
The trade volume between Korea and Tunisia reached an all-time high last year.
오, 톡톡님 진짜 많이 아시네요. 인터뷰 전에 또 제가 알아야 할 것들이 있을까요?
Do you want to know something really interesting?
뭔데요?
Tunisia is the first country that the Korean government established a Taekwondo center. In 1999, the Korean government established the first overseas Taekwondo center in Tunisia.
오, 한국과 튀니지 사이에 이렇게 흥미로운 이야기거리가 많이 있었군요.
That's right.
톡톡님, 그럼 이제 튀니지라는 국가에 대해 좀 알려주시겠어요?
Okay.
오늘 제가 튀니지에 대한 흥미로운 사실들을 많이 알려드리겠습니다. 대사님과 함께. 그리고 또 한국과 튀니지 사이에도 굉장히 흥미로운 이야기거리들이 많아요. 그래서 제가 오늘 튀니지, 여러분이 몰랐던 튀니지, 그리고 한국과 튀니지 사이의 재미있는 이야기들을 모두 공개하겠습니다. 그러면 가시죠. 여기로. We are going to meet the ambassador here at the Embassy of Tunisia residence in Seoul. Now, we are inside. I've never been to Tunisia, but looking at the paintings, I could feel the atmosphere of the streets of Tunisia. I think the poetic atmosphere of landscape painting, not photography, somehow puts my mind at ease. And now, let me introduce the star of today's interview, the Tunisian ambassador. Tunisian ambassador presented his credentials in October last year. It is already his third time on Diplomat Talks. Culture heritage in the calendar.
Wait, everyone. Let me briefly introduce Tunisia here, okay? Tunisia is located in North Africa, on the southern shore of the Mediterranean. It borders Libya to the east and Algeria to the west. Tunisia upholds Islam as its state religion and 99% of its people are Muslims, but it is culturally open and tolerant. Among Arab countries, Tunisia is a land of many firsts. In 1846, Tunisia was the first country in the Arab world to abolish slavery, and in 1861, it also became the first Arab country to enact a constitution. Also, in 2021, Tunisia became the first Arab country to have a female prime minister.
Then let's begin the interview with the Tunisian ambassador. Ambassador, I'm so glad that you brought this calendar.
I have it here and I'm quite using quite a lot. We are putting it in the month of April because Tunisia is featured there, one of the most prominent archaeological sites is there. So it's always useful. And again, to say thank you for your initiative in arranging for this calendar.
In January, Diplomat Talks carried out a one-of-a-kind calendar-making project putting together all the special holidays of the world with various embassies. The Tunisian embassy also participated. So do you want to participate one more time if we are doing the same project again?
Certainly, yeah. Why not?
What kind of days would you pick if we do it one more time?
Maybe the month of March, which corresponds to the Independence Day of Tunisia, 20th of March. So that would be maybe for next day that I would pick up.
So Ambassador, this year marks the 55th anniversary of the establishment of our bilateral relations. So how do you evaluate the bilateral relationship until?
It's the 55th anniversary of diplomatic establishment of diplomatic relations. We have very good relations, and I think that our cooperation is advancing in a very positive way. Our partnership in economic fields and trade is improving quite considerably. But most importantly, I think our shared values are at work in our relations, and we are working together on issues that relate to peace, stability all over the world. We really appreciate Korea's role as strong voice for peace, and Tunisia too shares this commitment to peace and to stability. And we hope that we will continue to work together to promote these values and to try to find solutions to situations of war, of suffering in many areas, particularly in the situation in Gaza now, is really beyond description in terms of atrocities being committed every day.
Korea and Tunisia established diplomatic relations in 1969, and this year marks the 55th anniversary. Although Korea and Tunisia are located far from each other, with different religions and cultures, the two countries have maintained close and cooperative relations in various fields, including politics, economy, and culture, since the establishment of diplomatic relations. Tunisia has shown support for Korea's position on the international stage and is pursuing various policies to strengthen cooperation with Korea in many fields, including the economy and trade. Korea is also closely cooperating with Tunisia at international organizations such as the United Nations. Also, in accordance with the various bilateral agreements, the two sides have several consultative bodies to strengthen ties and coordinate related policies. Meanwhile, Tunisia is a country that has diplomatic relations with both South and North Korea, having established relations with North Korea in 1975.
I found out a very interesting statistics. Last year, the bilateral trade volume reached an all-time high. So in particular, the fact that Korea's import from Tunisia increased significantly. So how do you evaluate our bilateral trade relations?
Yeah, we are quite satisfied that in recent years our trade has improved, has gone up in a remarkable way. But with Tunisian exports amounted to around $460 million, and Korean exports to Tunisia around $140 million, according to Korean statistics. But first, those figures are still so small, are still below the potential that we have between our two countries. Whether from Tunisia, there are a lot of products that could be exported to Korea, and from Korea to Tunisia.
In 2023, the trade volume between Korea and Tunisia reached an all-time high, exceeding $600 million. However, as of 2023, Korea's export volume to Tunisia is only 0.02% of its total export volume, and the import volume is only 0.07% of its total import volume. As of 2022, Korea's main exports to Tunisia include railway vehicles and parts, passenger cars, and petrochemical products, while major imports include clothing, copper products, and fish meat. Looking at the status of investment, the number of investments made by Korea in Tunisia from 1980 to 2022 is 29, and the investment amount is about $4.7 million US dollars. The number of investments Tunisia has made in Korea is 3, and the investment amount is approximately $430,000 US dollars.
Second, these figures are a little bit misleading because they do not take into account products that are exported, Korean products that are exported to Tunisia from European countries or other countries, particularly cars and transportation, and some Tunisian products that are exported to Korea from other countries, from European countries in particular. So the figures are a little bit misleading, but most importantly, they are much below the potential that we have together. So we need to work further to reinforce further the exchanges and to make sure that more Korean products are present in Tunisia and more Tunisian products here in the Korean market.
So we still have a long way to go. So what other products would you like to export to Korea?
I mean, Tunisian first export worldwide is in manufacturing, in electrical and car components. Tunisia provides car components to most car makers in the world, including most prestigious car makers in Germany and other countries. So we do also provide to some Korean car makers in Europe. So our hope is that we could expand further, I mean, the exports of car components to Korean car makers and to establish closer partnerships in terms of electrical products and car components. We also have we are producers of olive oil, producers of dates, and we hope to reinforce Tunisian presence in Korea in these kind of products.
So last time we met, you told me a very interesting story about blue crab, that we are now importing a lot of blue crab from Tunisia. But you told me that there weren't that many blue crabs in Tunisia, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that for our viewers?
I mean, maybe it's because of global warming. Maybe 20 years ago, there were no blue crabs in the Mediterranean. But now, I mean, we have seen that an increasing, amount of blue crabs in Tunisia. At first, it was considered by the fishing industry as a threat to their nets, so they did not really appreciate this new creature in the Mediterranean.
In 2014, blue swimming crabs emerged as a social problem in Tunisia. It is because the exotic blue swimming crab, whose population suddenly increased in the southern waters of Tunisia, began destroying the ecosystem and damaging nets and traps set by fishermen. Experts said the spread of blue crabs has become more severe due to climate change, which has caused surface waters to become warmer and has increased maritime traffic. As a result, some fishermen gave up their livelihoods, and in 2015 and 2016, fishermen affected by blue crabs protested against the government. Although the Tunisian government encouraged its citizens to eat blue crabs and even provided a subsidy for the purchase of blue crabs, crab dishes were not popular in Tunisia and did not sell well. As the Tunisian government turned its attention abroad, the disaster turned into an opportunity. This is because blue crab dishes appear on many restaurant menus in Asian countries, the United States, and Australia. International organizations such as FAO and UNDP and Tunisian government agencies have launched programs to train fishermen to harvest blue crabs. Thanks to this effort, new jobs were created and fishermen's income sources and economic opportunities were diversified. Tunisian blue crabs are also appearing on Korean tables. According to the Korea Trade Statistics Promotion Agency in 2022, Tunisia ranked second among Korea's import sources for blue crab. Additionally, as of March 2019, The country to which Tunisia exported the most frozen crab was found to be Korea.
But then they have found out that it has potential for export and for consumption in Tunisia, and now it is a product that is being exported to many countries, including to Korea. And I think last year it has generated something around 20 million US dollars exported to Korea, I mean, in terms of fishery and blue crabs.
Do you consume blue crabs in Tunisia?
Yes, we do, but not huge quantities. So most is for export. Yeah. Tunisians are not many Tunisians are not familiar with the blue crabs, the way to cook it, the way to use it, but it is getting more and more popular, yeah.
But you know that it is very popular and expensive ingredient for Korean
Yeah,
food, right?
yes, indeed, yeah.
Trade-wise, you mentioned that we still have a long way to go, but how about other economic sector? Are we doing well?
Yeah, we have quite a good cooperation. We have good projects that are being undertaken between our two countries. In Tunisia, for instance, as in the process of opening up the country to democratic governance, in the process of transparency, for instance, we have adopted the Korean system of e-procurement. So we have like CONEPs, we have TUNEPs in Tunisia. And it is a project that is quite successful. It has, in terms of the transparency of public tenders, in terms of the processing of the tenders. So it has served as a good tool of cooperation. And I am quite delighted that the Korean government is making use of this cooperation experience as a model for many other countries in Africa and in Latin America. So it's really a very successful project. We have many other projects that we are working on and that are yielding very positive results. So we would like to continue on this process. Yeah.
So in what other economic area would you like to boost more cooperation?
We would like to have more Korean investments in Tunisia. We have a few companies in Tunisia operating and benefiting from the business environment in Tunisia and also from the access that Tunisia offers to Korean investors, to the European market, to the African market, and to the Arab markets. So because we have quite a good network of free trade areas with all these regions, and also because of proximity to these regions, we could serve as a platform for Korean manufacturers to export to these regions. We have some success stories. I mean, we have met quite recently a delegation from quite an important Korean company manufacturing car cables. It has a few plants in Tunisia, and they are now in Tunisia, in fact, to establish a new important plant for manufacturing in Tunisia. So we would like to build on this momentum and have more exporters into Tunisia. We are also working on tourism. I mean, the number of Korean tourists in Tunisia is still quite low, but I think because of the kind of attractions that Tunisia offers in terms of cultural tourism, in terms of World Heritage sites, in terms of facilities for resort tourism, so we could offer quite a good product for Korean tourists. Golfing too in Tunisia is quite enjoyable, so people could enjoy different kind of facets of Tunisia, from the landscapes to sports and golfing, and even to medical tourism. Tunisia is a hotspot for medical tourism in the region, for thalassotherapy in particular. We have quite a very good world ranking in terms of thalassotherapy. So there are many possibilities and there are many attractions that could be of interest to Korean tourists.
I think the medical tourism was very interesting for me. Was there any reason or moment that you developed the medical tourism a lot?
We have many Europeans who come to Tunisia for medical treatment, whether in cosmetic, because it's good, very good quality, and it's value for money. But comparing to Europe, it's quite cheap. We have also many Africans and Arabs who come for medical treatment in Tunisia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and in fact, we have many clinics. What we mean by clinic is small hospital. Many clinics who work exclusively for foreign tourists who come just for medical treatment.
Tunisia is a country attracting attention for medical tourism. More than 2 million foreign tourists from not only Africa but also Europe and North America visit Tunisia every year to use its medical services. Tunisia has an excellent medical infrastructure and provides a variety of high-quality treatments at up to 60 or 70% lower cost than countries in Europe and North America. At the heart of Tunisia's medical tourism are doctors with excellent medical skills and private hospitals. 60% of the nation's doctors work at private hospitals, and as of 2017, most of the nation's medical devices belong to private hospitals as well. The most popular fields for medical tourists in Tunisia include plastic surgery, orthopedic surgery, dental treatment, cardiovascular treatment, ophthalmology, obesity treatment, and infertility treatment. Advanced treatments such as robotic surgery and minimally invasive procedures are also available.
So let's talk about Korea in Tunisia. Did you know that Tunisia was the first place where the Korean government established the Taekwondo Center in 1999?
Yeah, I mean, and it is a very successful kind of endeavor because Taekwondo is very popular now. I mean, the Tunisian Federation of Taekwondo has over 30,000 Taekwondo players.
Wow.
But the real number is more than 60,000 because these are, if you like, professional or they really compete on professional or official basis. But more than 60,000 in other clubs that really do it as a sport. And we have more than 500 Taekwondo centers in Tunisia. That does not take into account private gyms. And I say it was successful, you know, when professor sees that his student has become better than him, he should be proud. And in this case, I mean, Korea helped very much the development of Taekwondo in Tunisia. And now, I mean, 58 kilogram category, the number one Taekwondo player in the world is a Tunisian.
Wow.
He's ranked first. I think the second is Spanish and the third is Korean, Jinjan. So when we have number one in the world ranking, that's really, I think, a source of satisfaction both for Tunisians and for Koreans. And we hope that in Paris Olympics we'll have other medals in Taekwondo.
We hope that Korean and Tunisian Taekwondo athletes do well at this year's Olympics.
So aside from the areas you mentioned today, what other areas you'd like to see more cooperation between Korea and Tunisia?
Science and technology. We have quite small cooperation in academic terms with Korea. We are developing some linkages with Korean universities, but we would like to develop further cooperation in science and technology. I mean, the science and technology ecosystem in Tunisia is developing. We have very successful research centers. We have very good skilled researchers, and there are areas that could be of interest to Korean and Tunisian researchers. And we would like to develop further this kind of aspect. And it could be also one of the engines of future cooperation. I think it's a win-win partnership. I think Korea is now moving into new direction of attracting talent internationally. And in Tunisia, there is a pool of talent that could serve both countries.
Which specific part of science would you like more cooperation?
I mean, science and technology, there's quite no limit. So it depends on really linkages that we could establish in biotechnology, in energy sector, in medicine. We have quite good researchers in those fields. So there are many areas we could find in farming, agriculture, agronomy. So there are many areas where we could find, converging interests.
So are you talking with Korean government regarding that?
Yeah, we are talking with universities, but also with Korean governments, and we hope that the next Korea-Africa summit will serve as platform to develop these new areas of cooperation.
It has been 55 years since Korea and Tunisia established diplomatic relations. Over the past 55 years, our two countries have made many achievements in various fields. However, through my interview with the ambassador, I learned that the two countries have the potential to cooperate in more areas in the future. And I think the bilateral friendship will become stronger through the Korea-Africa Summit to be held for the first time in June this year.
The first Korea-Africa Summit will be held in Korea for 2 days from June 4th to 5. Diplomat Talks will also be preparing a special episode for the summit, so please take note.
Oh, that's really great. No, I see people putting it on when I go there. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Do you know the Korean drama called Kingdom? No?
I'm not. I'll ask my son. He certainly knows about it. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.